Hi guys. I just wanted to do a quick little video to say hello and check in with you. So you might have noticed on some of my pages that recently I did a well-being presentation last week, and I just wanted to check in about it with you. This will be in two parts. So in the first part, I'm going to give you some information, and then in the second part, I'll give you some tips. So I'll come back with that second video. The first video is information, and this is all about the 3 p.m. slump, and this obviously occurs around 2 or 3 p.m. every day, and it happens to lots of people. So basically there's an energy drop, right? And if you've felt it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like you come back from, let's say you work in the office, and when you come back you start to feel very tired. Your energy drops, you feel less alert, you feel kind of foggy, and you just don't have the energy that you thought that you had, and you certainly don't have the energy you had at the start of the day. So firstly, I'm going to tell you what's happening there. So they don't have one specific cause outlined at the moment to say this is what causes the 3 p.m. slump. But one thing that happens is that we run on a 24-hour sleep-wake cycle, the circadian rhythm. Basically, that's bodily processes that help you to fall asleep at night and help you to wake up in the morning. And what happens in the morning when you wake up is that your cortisol levels, which keep you alert and energized, they start to increase from early in the morning, say around 4 or 5 a.m. The levels start to increase, and that gives you the alertness during the day. But from just after midday, those levels start to go down, and it's basically starting the downward descent towards nighttime. So the cortisol levels in your body, in most people's bodies, at 2 or 3 p.m., the levels are much lower than earlier on. So you really start to feel that. So like I said, cortisol gives you that feeling of alertness and energy, and if you don't have it in your body, or if it's starting to decrease, you're going to start to feel less alert, less energy, and more fatigue. A couple of other contributing factors can be things like if you sit in the office, if you sit at a computer, or if you sit at your desk a lot in the same position, this is going to be very fatiguing. It sounds like it shouldn't be because you're not moving much, but that's actually very fatiguing for your body. It's fatiguing for the muscles to be sitting in that same position for much of the day. The other things can be things like if you've had a heavy lunch, your body is processing a heavy lunch. This tends to make people feel sleepy. Also having a poor water intake. So hydration is very, very important, and if you're not hydrating yourself throughout the day, this starts to slow down your body processes. So the blood flow is a lot slower if you haven't basically diluted really the blood with enough hydration, and also if you're just not sleeping well. So if you're not sleeping well at nighttime, if you're not getting a good night's rest, you're going to start to feel it, especially at around 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So this is a bit of the background of why you might be feeling this 2 or 3 p.m. slump. Of course, if this is something that's ongoing, then you feel like there's really something wrong and you've ticked all those boxes, you don't think that there's anything particularly natural about what's happening, then maybe it's a good idea to go and talk to a GP, or go and get some help to see if there's some background reason, if you need to get your blood checked, or have a look at your diet or something along those lines. But for the majority of people, it's a combination of those factors. So like I said, cortisol levels dropping as a natural process of our circadian rhythm, factoring in also poor hydration, poor sleep, not enough sleep, heavy lunch, and sitting too long in the same position. So maybe have a think about how you approach your day and if there's any tweaks you can make. Like I said, this was part 1. I'll come back to you with part 2 of the video, which is a couple of tips that might help you to get through that 3 p.m. slump in a natural way. The wellbeing presentation I gave last week was fun. I'll put up some photos on my pages and things soon. It was quite an exciting event because there were famous people there. I hung out with, I didn't even realize some of the people there were famous until they introduced themselves, and I thought, oh, sorry, I didn't realize. But one person I knew was Jennifer Hawkins. She was sort of the main attraction, and she was she enjoyed. She came along to the wellbeing class, and I did a master class on some movement and breathing, and she enjoyed it, and that's the main thing, that people enjoy, that they get something out of it. And yeah, she was really lovely, as was everybody there that I spoke to. And it was we had kind of not the greatest weather last week in Sydney, but it wasn't too bad, and we got to be outside, and the location was lovely, looking out at the water. So yeah, it was a good event. But most importantly, I'm happy that I can share the knowledge with you. So like I said, 3 p.m. slump, partly natural, happens to everybody, circadian rhythm, cortisol drops. Also things like fatigue, hydration, heavy lunches, and sitting too long in the same place. There's my lovely nails, I need to fix them up. And yeah, so let me know what you think. And if you feel as though there's something you can tweak in your routine, maybe post down below and let us know what it is that you think you can tweak to help this. And I'll come back to you with some tips soon. Okay, take care. Bye.